15 Shocking True Stories of Creepy Clowns. Part 1. If you are brand new to our channel, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Just click on the lit red button as well as the gray bell. Why the bell? Well, it will let you know every time we post a new video. 1. The infamous John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy is among the most infamous serial killers of the 20th century. With at least 33 murders under his belt, he had a day job as a children's entertainer known as Pogo the Clown. We wish we were making this up, because in many ways, the crimes committed by Gacy are too nightmarish to fathom, let alone write down. Not only was he a serial murderer, but he sexually abused most of the young boys before killing them as well, using his clown persona as a way to lure the trust of parents and children alike. It's not even quite clear how many victims he may have had, because before his death he said there were many bodies and victims still left to find. Most of his victims he hid on his property, the vast majority of which were eventually found in the crawl space of his home. He was executed in 1994 by lethal injection. 2. Swedish clown stabbing. While this might be just an extension of the American phantom clown epidemic currently going down, a very real stabbing took place recently in Sweden with a clown right in the middle of the whole thing. While most stores in the surrounding countries have actually stopped selling clown costumes due to reports of teenagers scaring younger children, that didn't stop violence to break out in the country's capital city, Stockholm. Unlike the simple act of scaring school children, which one officer described as not a crime as such, but very, very unpleasant, stabbing is a whole other story. A 19-year-old was stabbed in the shoulder in Sweden by a man who was apparently wearing a yellow jacket and a clown mask. While this is likely someone who is wearing a costume, because it's the craze that does little to alleviate our fear of clowns, it actually kinda makes it a whole lot worse. 3. Mysterious clown sightings in 2016. Over the past 30 years, there have been different waves of clown sightings all over the world. We've touched on some of them in previous entries, though right now we're living during a particularly awful one. What started as a smattering of reports in the Carolinas has quickly turned into a full-blown epidemic, with clown sightings all over the country, to false clown-related bomb threats, and already at least one clown-related death. Things are getting out of hand. Experts claim there is no evidence that points to any real organized clown organization, that these kinds of episodes of mass hysteria are perpetuated by the media, in particular during periods of social and political tension. While this time around things are a whole lot worse, there was a similar string of clown sightings in 2008 around the same time as the previous American election. While this is written off as merely a hoax, the truth is, we don't care if someone is faking or not. Someone trying to scare us while dressed as a clown is still very scary. 4. Sondance the Clown. When Thomas Harold Morgan, aka Sondance the Clown, was arrested in 2012 on suspicion of distributing, possessing and viewing child pornography, police officers found weeks' worth of the material in his home. Morgan, who not only worked as a clown at children's parties, also claimed to be a childcare IT professional, giving him a professional edge on his competitors. Unlike some of the clowning incidents on this list, there are a number of photos of Morgan in full clown makeup that will only help fuel your nightmares for years. With stringy orange hair and round glasses, many of his images feature him lounging awkwardly on his side, like some ancient courtesan from the Impressionist art period. We're not sure why, but the fact that he had written on his website at the time that he had spent 20 years perfecting my craft creeps us out the most. 5. Missionary Clown. Klutzo the Clown from Illinois was a beloved figure in his community. a Christian clown who would work at home in Springfield, Illinois, would also go on trips to less fortunate countries like the Philippines, where he would entertain children at the House of Joy orphanage. Of course, Klutzo wasn't this kind-hearted Christian that people thought he was. Under the clown makeup and oversized shoes was Amon Paul Carlock, who was arrested on child pornography charges, as he would travel regularly to the Philippines to create illicit photographs and have intercourse with underage boys. The real Carlock had also worked as a youth pastor and a police officer, more than a little disconcerting. 6. The Palm Beach Murder Clown. This story goes back all the way to 1990, when Marlene Warren answered the door to a clown holding a bouquet of flowers and 2 silver balloons. Before she could so much as react, she was shot and killed on the spot, and the clown was on the lam. 2 suspects emerged in the case, Marlene's husband Michael, and his co-worker Sheila Keene, whom many suspected was having an affair with Michael. While there is evidence that a woman matching Sheila's description was seen buying a clown costume before the murder, there was never enough evidence to make any kind of case against the pair stick. It does seem likely that either Warren or Sheila is behind the clown story, but with no official conviction, the case of the killer clown remains unsolved. 7. Former cartel leader killed by clown. You're not misreading anything. A former leader of a Mexican drug cartel, Francisco Rafael Arellano Felix, was shot and killed by a gunman dressed as a clown. Not necessarily the creeping stalker clown we've come to fear from Stephen King. It nonetheless points to more reason to fear clowns, no matter how powerful you may be. Clowns are not to be trusted, because you really never know who might be hiding under that makeup. It doesn't matter who you are, they aren't going to be trusted. We gotta believe that Francisco Rafael Arellano Felix, who was 63 at the time of the shooting, who had already lived and survived a lifetime of near-death experiences, could have ever imagined he'd be done by a clown wearing a fake red nose. Sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. 8. Juggalo Fan Attacks. While the insane clown posse may have escaped being officially classified as a gang by the FBI, that hasn't stopped some of their supporters over the years from behaving badly. Back in 2010, Juggalo aficionado Nathan Rabin of the Ad Club, he has since moved on to freelancing, and wrote a book about the election year and gathering of the Juggalos, wrote about an incident at a concert, where Tila Tequila appeared on stage represented, in Rabin's words, the antithesis of wicked SHT, that Juggalo crowds demand from their acts, representing everything that insane clown posse is not. So when she appeared to perform her rap, the crowd turned on her. This wouldn't be the first time that Juggalos would throw water bottles filled with piss at a performer, but rumors of worse, human feces, have become a part of the legend. Midway through the performance, Tila Tequila decided to go topless in the hopes it would stop the violence, but it didn't stop the angered crowd of clowned-up Juggalos. While Tequila escaped unscathed with just superficial scrapes and bruises, the whole unfolding nightmare may not be what comes to mind when we think scary clown, but it is nonetheless a horrifying experience.